What's going on, guys? Domino Paris 21 here, and back to bring you guys another deck profile for you all. So I'm hanging out here at my local card shop here in Maryland, hanging out with the crew and all. So of course, as you see here, I got my Maelstrom deck to show off to you guys. So considering that this is an Aquaforce deck, I'm actually have my special guest here, Mr. CardfightKing himself.
Good, y'all. What's good, y'all?
Are you supposed to Aqualife?
Oh yeah, it's Aqualife. I mean, they already know it. They could see the joint, son.
Yeah, definitely subscribe to him. Clay actually just recently won with Aquaforce for a DMV Dynasty Cup. Definitely congrats to him being our fourth champion, me being the first. Just to remind you guys, but yes. But that's a little while ago. But yeah, Clay actually played the Thavis build.
Yes, I did.
But in comparison with Maelstrom, I guess now we're favoring Maelstrom now that Maelstrom Stride came out for Fighters Collection. And there's definitely a lot of things I prefer Maelstrom over the previous Thavis build. But overall, Clay, for Maelstrom, like obviously, you know, Maelstrom was the first originator for Aquaforce.
Of course.
Before we get into the deck profile, what impressions and differences that you definitely felt with Maelstrom now? Now, of course, we already know that Lambros is a powerful card.
Bambi, baby.
But in terms of the other support that you got, you know, like what kind of differences do you see now for Maelstrom that improved?
I can honestly tell you that, again, he's still an on-hit pressure Vanguard. It's still fourth battle. Let's get there. But, you know, with the support that came out, we finally got an 11K Basil. So now, you know, what used to be our whiff attack from Basil is now an actual attack. And he's an 11K attacker as well. So, you know, you do have the option of taking out the 12K attacker if you want to. So, you know, with the support that we got from this new set, this deck has just skyrocketed. It's taken off in a whole new direction, and you can still play old school, but add in some of that new school flair, and you know you got a top tier deck.
Yep. So me and Clay here. Now this is of course my deck, but me and Clay have very similar builds now for Maelstrom, almost to the teeth, with a few maybe 1-2 cards exception. Yeah. But yeah, we did a lot of theorying, a lot of testing with it, and this is kind of the final build that we really found was really solid for reasons that we will explain to you guys. So without further ado, let's actually get started. So first off with the starter, we got our Blue Storm Cadet, Marios. It's the main reason why I like this card. I really love the Maelstrom deck. I mean, we already know what he does by now since set 15. When he boosts an Aquaforce Vanguard, if it was third battle or more and it hits, you check the top 5 for a Maelstrom card. So obviously any of your grade 3s. Yep. So main thing I like with Aquaforce, like I always said in the beginning, grade 3s are never dead in this deck. So not only are they beaters,
Stride fodder
mainly. That's the main reason why I like it, and of course, you know, your main Vanguards.
Yeah.
But the fact is that he helps give you free Stride fodder is very huge for me. Because I know previously I was testing out Thavis build, but I did not like Thavis personally, just because, I don't know, I felt like I was always out of resources. I ran out of gas a lot of the times, and it really hurts to have discarded 1 and 2 just to stride if you don't have any other ways to stride. So just being able to get some free grade 3s helps build those resources, which is really great, and it definitely forces out some guards from your opponent.
Of course, your opponent does not want you. The one thing when you're going up against Maelstrom is you just do not want them to search out potential stride fodder, cross ride, a potential grade 3 ride, because even if your opponent has the Geosis, you know, when your opponent Geosis, you know, it's like, well, I can build advantage upon that. So definitely a card that you don't want to hit or get rid of the field.
Yeah, and this actually saved me from Greylock a few times because it sucks the Geosis with Aquaforce. It does.
Oh my gosh. It's
like, you pretty much lose if you Geosis both times. Next up for 3s, I am actually running the 4 Maelstrom.
I told you it was good.
Yeah. We got the 4 Maelstrom, 3 reverse, and then the 1 Glory. So the 4 Maelstroms, as me and Clay agreed on, just having the ability to cross ride in a more consistent way as an option is really good, especially how most decks, they kind of fix their numbers to hit that 21K mark, but not necessarily that cross-ride mark. So you could definitely mitigate a lot of offensive power from a lot of decks out there by being able to cross-ride, which is great. And plus, you know, early pressure with Maelstrom with the Limit Break Enabler is really good.
Definitely.
Clay, I think you got like some other things with Maelstrom?
Literally, my biggest thing is the cross-ride. It's the fact that you're able to take, because people are running 16K columns, 17K columns, 21, and being on the cross ride is just so much of intercepts and things like that. But another thing I like about him is that
good in the mirror match.
Right, in the mirror match is good. The mirror match is good, and early game, like you said, early game. If you get your limb breaking down the field, and sometimes you might even just call a trigger out to, you know, get to that 4 battles. And if you hit that 4 battles, the amount of advantage that you can bring just by being on him, because early game, I think he's better early game than any other Maelstrom Vanguard. Early game, you want to pressure with him, because Maelstrom versus like this, okay, you can hit, but you know you're gonna deal me 2 damage, then I'm gonna come back with my own advantage plays. Him, you hit. you know it. Him, you hit. You get to draw one and kill some of their field advantage. So early game, I love him.
Or bait out precious guards they need later.
Bait out precious guards, yeah. So early game, I love him.
Then it goes 3 reverse.
Oh, yeah.
Even if you ride reverse first, it's not bad.
It's definitely not
eating
bad.
2 crit against Aquaforce hurts.
Yeah.
Knowing that Lambros is coming. So there's 3 of him in the 1 glory. We only play the 1 glory just because it's very situational. I can tell you right now, we are fully aware of the unblockable combo with this, but I never, ever once got it off or had the opportunity to get it off.
It's a gimmick play to me. It's good to have in there as another an alternate way of securing a game, but
It's the one.
building the deck around that strategy it's just not good. It's really not good.
Yeah, I mean, and plus, reverse Maelstrom was definitely resourceful for me. If I wasn't able to stride again later in the game, I just use him to kind of just build advantage back. So it's the main reason.
He doesn't hit you plus.
Exactly. Next for grade 2s, easily my favorite card in the deck.
The meat.
This is what Aquaforce player has been wanting for a while. It's 11k Basil, or he's 11k by himself, whatever.
He's 11k if you have a Maelstrom Vanguard, and he's a Basil clone.
Yep. So if the difference is you can't use him within the first 2 turns, but who cares? 11k. So if he attacks for 11 if you have a Maelstrom Vanguard all the time, and if he's the first battle, you can switch him with another column. So put 2 beaters, same column. It's really good.
Too good.
So really amazing. Then next you have Tidal Assaults. So previously when I ran for Springfest for Team League in New York, I actually ran Magnum Assaults instead. Just because I like Magnum Assaults gives you guaranteed attacks at the Vanguard, and since he retains his +2 until the end of turn, it allows me just to hit that 21k mark with Lambros. But as me and Clay kind of figured out and what I've experienced is the way people play around Aquaforce, sometimes they stay on grade 2 for an extra turn to prevent you from striding. So Tidal Assault can continue punishing them for doing that.
Right.
At the same time, it's another easy way to enable any of your
Maelstroms.
Your Maelstrom limit breaks if you're not at Generation Break 1, which Magnum Assault does require that. So Tidal is a little bit more versatile, and plus stacking crits on him, being able to restand with the Lambros play is actually pretty good, especially if your opponent's at 4 damage. So there's definitely more utilities, but Magnum Assault is still good too.
Good. He's good, and since we're both older Aquaforce players, even if you whip 9 with a Vanguard restand, 4 with, just being able to get to 4 battles is sometimes more essential than hitting. Because as long as we can get there, generally we have a chance. In early game, he's just too nasty.
Get there, Clinton. Now we got some other guys here.
Yeah.
Hanging out. So yes, because another thing too is Magnum Assault. Sometimes you may not have the proper booster to call down to actually boost the Magnum Assault, so you're forced to use a trigger. Tidal Assault can at least enable by himself. Still not hitting a good number, but he can enable without.
Right.
He can sometimes enable for you the 4th battle without having to commit an extra card that you don't want to. So that's what we like.
He's a damage sponge too. People just will waste 3. I have people sometimes just wasting all 3 of their attacks on Tidal Assault, and you can just bait different things.
Yep, so if you have multiple, you can just drop it, or if you don't think you need it, you just drop it, and people will use resources against it. The next, we are running the 2 Blue Star Marine General, the 12k attacker. So I really like this card because really because we're basing the lineup on Rascal Sweeper. So basically, if you guys are any old school Maelstrom players out there, you usually want to have a lot of standard beaters to use with your Basil columns, in this case sweeper columns, because you want units that's guaranteed to hit something no matter what. So you want to have units that can hit for 11k or higher. So because if they're just a base 9k, they'll just probably intercept with their 9k rear guard, and then he has nothing left to hit. So having standard beaters is good, and plus it hits that 22k mark with Lambros as well, so it's another target that can do that.
Yep. It's definitely a great card.
And then if you want to get higher, you have High Tide Sniper for that.
High Tide Snipers. Personally, in Thavaz, he's one of my favorite cards. Him and Maelstrom, not Maelstrom, Lambros are just best friends. He's just too good, guys. Late game, early game.
A little bit early, he can be a little dead, but for what he can give you in late game, I think it's too strong. Then we're actually about to start a tournament soon, so we're just gonna wrap everything up. Well, everything else is pretty straightforward, but 4 perfect guards, no unflipper, just regular Carmen Electra ones, not just the
cross
Beavers.
is still a thing around, at least in our meta, Laurel and the cross.
Plus, we don't really care about counterblast too much in this deck. 4 Stride Enablers, definitely gotta play it.
We want to stride.
Then we have 3 Sharks as the Limit Break Enablers and 2 Stasia. So we like the 3 Sharks just because it gives us more chances just to have our limit breaks a little bit early. Because again, if our opponent wants to play the chicken game and not let us stride or greylock themselves on purpose, then I'll just drop the Shark and then I'll just use my limit break anyway. So really good just to be able to do that a little bit early on in the game. Keep in mind, guys, as we're going to discuss with the strides with Lambros, you can Lambros on the first stride. Your units who stand up just won't get 11k. So even if you're losing 1 turn to stride, you can pressure, with your limit breaks, depending what they are, well, except for Glory in this case, then you can just Lambros them if you get enough damage out. But that's what we like with the 3 sharks.
Yep, and with Stacia, she's my personal favorite grade 1 out of all of them. Pretty much like in the DME tournament that I won, I had a back row of her. She creates 4 battles. She pokes it, and if you reset her with Lambros, she swings for a nice 19K number. Like, this card not only has it's kind of like a different version of Basil, so to speak. Has a self-protection method by being in the back row, and she can swing 9 on anything in the front row. And if you power her up any, she could be a very deadly card, especially on Lambros' turn.
Really good. It's kind of funny too to put it behind the Vanguard, just get an extra attack in.
Right.
So it's pretty funny the plays you can do with it. The next, just triggers, just get it out of the way.
Yeah.
4 supersonic sailors. You don't really use them that much,
just
but
in case.
just in case. 4 of these, just for that glory combo. Or you can even use it with the regular Maelstrom,
right,
situationally, and shuffle a crit back. 4 draws, 2 good, and 4 heals. Just 8 crit, 4 draw, 4 heal.
Standard.
Like, you don't really need to have more draws in the deck just because you build good resources, and if everything goes by design, you should already have good resources, what you need. Now for strides, just to get the brokenness out of the way, Lambros is too good. It's too good.
Lamby Bambi, baby.
Yeah, man. So so at the end of the battle that he's 4th attack, you persona flip, and then you stand up 2 rear guards and give him +10. So
you know it, all that aqua life right there,
but
baby.
keep in mind, guys, again, like I said, you can use them on your first stride. Just the 2 needs you stand do not get +10. But if you push your opponent really fast, like 4 to 5 damage instantly by turn 3. When you're about to, you can just try this first time and just go for game with it.
And they will not survive the second one. Generally, they will not survive the second one.
Yeah, unless they kill you.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we have the Fighters Collection. Stride for Maelstrom. So, when he is 4th battle, and he hits the Vanguard, count +1, flip up 1 of your face-down G units, and then for every face-up copy of him that you have in your G-zone, your opponent retires as many rear guards when you select 3 of the rear guards.
Right.
It's really weird.
It's a Favas skill for the retiring.
On hit.
On hit.
For 4th battle.
For 4th battle, yeah.
So, I don't know. It's a little weird because a lot of times your opponent has a perfect guard, it kind of hurts, but being able to do it again,
it's a decent pressure card.
Now, in case I'm not able to really get the 4th attacks effectively, that's why you still play it's a 1 title board.
I love that card.
It's still good because if you know your opponent has a perfect guard, like they drove check it, you have a full board, you can just go title board because even if they perfect guard this, they still have to deal with any triggers you pass on your second column. So title board is still good for those options.
Yep. It prevents you from sometimes you don't want to overextend just to get him off. So it's like go on the title board, get your 3 battles in, and if you hit, good, you have a chance to get 4 and up.
And then, you use it with the starter. If you get a 3, you can actually call the 3.
Oh, God, it's so good.
It's really good. So that's pretty much the deck, guys. It's pretty straightforward for the most part. It's really just about, the plays and everything. And then, honestly, if we go through all the plays you can go with the deck, this video will be really long. But I say I'm going to try to get some matches up with this so you guys can see for yourself. Or I say build a deck yourself and try it out. It's really good. On that, guys, don't forget to subscribe to CardfightKing.
Definitely Aqua Life, baby. You already know.
Yep, link will be in the description below. Thank you guys for watching, and see you guys later. We're going to go play in the tournament now.
You know it.